Bam, we're live. Just like that. Miss Kalil, hi.
Here we are. It looks like you guys are ready to bend the knee.
Who? Yes, absolutely. Who? Who's more nervous? Me, the listeners, or all my boyfriends?
Ooh.
My
I think you're
boyfriend.
the most nervous.
I'm definitely nervous, but I'm telling you, my boyfriends are nervous. My boyfriends, my harem of men. They don't want me talking to Lauren Khalil. They like
They want to keep me in the dark.
they want to be my favorite. Dang, you're busy.
Yeah,
Dang,
it's
you're busy.
been it's been a crazy month. Holy crap.
Do you have an official role? What are you doing over there at Morning Chocolate with video? It's like all of a sudden it's just ramped up, and it's like there's multiple videos coming a day, and you're interviewing everyone and anything, and I'm just like, holy cow.
Yeah, so I manage their whole YouTube page. So I, schedule guests, I, bounce topic ideas off of, a small staff that we have that has weekly meetings. Patrick Clark, he's one of like the photographers and writers that works over there too. He kind of helps me get in contact with some people. He's just been in the space longer. So when it comes to like networking and stuff, he's really helped, get my name out there, get contacts, things like that. But I try to produce some kind of video content at least 5 times a week. But obviously, like during semifinals, that was that was very different.
Has it always been like that, or did you just decide, okay, is there room? Um, is there room for? There's this term, intrapreneurship. Do you know that term? I just learned it. Do you know that term?
Entrepreneurship or
Yeah,
entrepreneurship?
intrapreneurship. It's like when there's intrapreneurs in a business. Like, so when CrossFit started, it was all intrapreneurs, meaning like Greg hired people and then basically you were allowed to do whatever you wanted. And people would just work their
Mm.
ass off. Not whatever you wanted. Like, you weren't allowed, like if you were in the media department, you didn't go run over to the training department, but you'd be hired into the media department and they would be like, hey, we need content. And so people would just, is it kind of like that? You're like just taking the bull by the horns and running with it. Like, hey, this is
Yeah,
your job, Lauren. And then you're like, okay. So you're kind of an entrepreneur within Morning Chalk Up.
sure. Yeah, I guess you could say that because before I was doing a lot of like the written content, I was, more or less just a contract worker, just writing articles, coming up with topics, chasing those leads, interviewing people. And then it was after the games that just for whatever reason, I was talking to again Patrick, who works for Morning Chalk Up, and he was like, "Hey, I think that you could do something with like this YouTube page, just with your broadcast experience." And I was like, "Oh, like I don't really know that I want to like go back to like all of that on camera stuff." I kind of like stepped away from that and was, washed my hands of it. But then I started doing it. I got the itch again, and then I did it for a couple of months, and then I basically went to, my boss at Morning Chalk Up and was like, "Hey, I think that we can like make this bigger than what it has been and what it is right now." So that's when conversations started rolling kind of around like the Wadapalooza New Year time.
Yeah, you're murdering it. And uh, maybe it's just me, but are you getting looser too? Not only looser, like, are you coming more like off the script? And like, I mean, look at some of these titles. I'm like, how am I going to compete with these guys? Start of a new dynasty. Will there be another Matt Fraser? Is Sarah past her prime? What happens to teams if Rich Froning dies? I edited that one a little bit.
I was like, I don't know that that's our title.
Are you getting
So
are you like
yeah,
are you like a duck? You've shaken it off and you're going for it. Like you're just like, man, I'm flying north.
well, it's interesting because this space is so wildly different than what I'm used to from local television news. So, I mean, while journalism and, interviewing people is kind of all of the same skills, figuring out like the content and what really um like speaks to the audience is much different. So finding my groove and figuring out, okay, like what works, what doesn't work, what do people actually want to see is, it's all been a learning process. I'm sure like when you started this like a decade ago, it was, okay, let's try this. Does it work? Doesn't it work? What do people want?
It was God. I wish I was that thoughtful. I wish I was that thoughtful. It was just like, oh my God, I hope I don't ask this. Oh shit, I'm actually asking this.
Sometimes it happens.
Here's what I mean. So Chris Hinshaw's been interviewed by 1,000 people, and yesterday a clip came out, and he's like blown away by what you asked. And not only is he blown away by what you asked, but you're asking something that seems like it's so far off the script, and like you're present for the conversation. And I just don't feel like you see that in a lot of journalism. Like there is a, you know what I mean? Like 60 Minutes will do a piece, and they want to show how this car manufacturer is polluting the river next to them, and they're like determined to show that. Whereas I don't do that. I'm just like, I kind of do that, but my thing is, I just want to go deeper with someone. I don't care where we do it, whether we're talking about tampons or being a vegetarian or whatever. If we can go deeper into a subject, I'm content.
Yeah, well, and I think that's what makes good journalism.
I say that again.
I think that's what makes good journalism is you have like a skeleton of the questions you want to ask, and you kind of have an idea of where it might go, but you let the person you're interviewing kind of just like lead where it takes. And I mean, I'm sure you're always asking follow-up questions on the fly, whether they're scripted or not, or they just are based on the conversation.
But you couldn't do that at your last job. You didn't have there wasn't even the time really, right?
Yeah, especially because like with news, like there's not really these extended stories. You have a minute and a half to compile a story, get your point across, try to show both sides, and that's it. If it's a minute 36, those 6 seconds are getting cut.
Like the story you did, there's a story in your reel. By the way, you've done so much stuff. It's nuts. Do you know how many news pieces you've done?
I have no idea.
It was that 5 days a week too, or was that 6 or 7 days a week? What were those jobs? Just so people know what I'm talking about. Yeah. She worked at NBC3, CBS 5, CW6, something NY Central, and Fox 11. And I may have missed some. There was a Channel 7 in there I saw too.
Yeah. So I worked in Illinois, which covered Illinois, Missouri, and Iowa, the tri-states. Then I worked in Green Bay, Wisconsin, which sometimes like covered a little more than just Wisconsin. And then most recently I worked in local news, kind of close to my hometown in upstate New York. So that was like 5 days a week, but I mean, the hours you're working, they range, and it depends. Like you're kind of always on call for breaking news. Like if something huge happens, we're understaffed, it's all hands on deck. I would work every weekend, so our staff would always be understaffed. And you would literally be doing everybody's job. I would be going out, getting my own interviews, photographing or getting video of everything I need, then going back, editing, writing, producing, then getting ready in time to like be on camera, deliver the news, putting stories on the web. Sometimes I think people don't realize like how many different jobs one person is doing when you're in the news. So, I mean, burnout is high. And right now you're obviously seeing a lot of people getting out of local TV for, I mean, so many different reasons.
The number of pages of notes I have is how nervous I am.
He has a Bible.
And anything over 2 pages means nervous, but only 3. Only 3. Like I think the record was 7 one time. I said 7 is like when you know your notes are gonna fuck you.
I kind of like that you have paper notes though. I always just have like a Word document on my computer or Google Notes.
I keep it up there too, but then I have to look over here and I can't fake that I'm actually paying attention to what you're saying.
Fair.
So you were busy, and you know that how did you get that first job? How do you you just walk in and you're like, hey, I want to be on TV and do news? How do you get that first job? And you did an internship at the Golf Channel.
Yeah, that was so much fun. I would love to go back and do that.
Is that the first gig?
So I interned with them, and then I interned with the Dan Patrick Show.
Okay.
So those were kind of the two.
That's this big sports show.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I did that. I went to college for sports journalism, broadcast journalism, and then you create a reel. So all of like the little highlights that you go out and shoot yourself of you on camera. And then you pretty much send that in your resume to anyone and anyone that will take you. So, I mean, applying to jobs, I applied to over 200 places just to see who would take me.
Wow.
And then you get your foot in the door, and like from there it becomes a little bit easier. But I mean, you literally have to be willing to pack your bags and move wherever the job is.
Is this guy still doing his gig, the Dan Patrick Show?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you learn a lot there?
Yeah. So I did it with them. It was Super Bowl week when they were in New York City. I'm trying to think, that was maybe 2013, around that time. Yeah, I mean, mostly of what you're doing, you're getting them coffee, you're like bringing the guests in, you're kind of working as a coordinator for them, or basically anything that they need. And then when there's downtime, that's when, you know, they gave me the opportunity to interview them, get myself on camera with them, those little things that I could then add to my highlight reel that I would send out to TV stations.
And in 2014, so you're interning at the Dan Patrick Show, but you're also on the Sacred Heart dance team.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
UDT. It was a great time.
Is that a private university? Sacred Heart?
Yep.
Is it some religious university? It's like some based in some.
Yeah, it's a Catholic university, but I mean, it was liberal arts, so you were required to take, you know, one religious course, basically any type of religion that you wanted to.
Could you pull that YouTube up, Souza?
Oh God.
So they did it. They did a documentary on, like a 3.5-minute documentary, and you got a line in there. You haven't even changed that much.
Oh my gosh. This is old.
Yeah.
You really dug deep for this, Sevan. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I was pretty happy when I found this. I'm not gonna lie. And if you play a little bit, I think you play like 20 seconds, we can hear. So this is like a 3-minute, 22-second documentary on the Sacred Hearts dance team, which is the college that Lauren went to. And what state is this in?
Connecticut.
Okay. And you're not in this picture, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I wonder where I was, actually. I'm not sure.
It's
maybe I was studying abroad that year.
It's a lot of women on this team.
Oh yeah, there's only women on this dance team.
No, but I don't mean just women. I just mean there's a lot. There's like 50. It's like the whole school is on it.
Yeah, our dance team was pretty big. I think the biggest year had about 50 of us. And every year we like go down to Daytona Beach for dance team nationals. That's where, like, if you guys are familiar, probably not, but maybe the Netflix series Cheer. No. Any takers? Okay, so yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so like the dance teams and the cheerleading teams go down. Yeah, see, come on, Matt.
Yeah.
I knew you knew.
Hit play, and I think Lauren has a talking part right here.
Keep
I don't even remember
confidence up and help each other out.
To have people pushing you and always there to support you, being like, come on, we're almost there, we're gonna get through it. It's really great because it's like you have 40 other sisters for you.
The dance team typically practices 3 times a week.
How?
Oh my God, that's so cringe.
How are you doing that? You look adorable. How are you doing that? You're doing the Dan Patrick Show, and were you the student body president?
I was.
What is going on?
Yeah, I've always been busy. Like my jobs now, this is nothing uncharacteristic for me. I love to, you know, set goals, and I love to achieve different accomplishments, and, you know, accomplish as much as I can in my life.
Are you nice?
I think so. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people in the journalism space aren't nice people. They're bullies.
I wouldn't say that's true. I would
you
say
would or
that
wouldn't?
I wouldn't. I would say that, like, some of the people I met in television were some of like the nicest, most genuine people, but you do get like that group of people that is in local TV just because they want to see their face on camera. And they're very like prissy and like, I gotta get my nails done, I gotta have my hair so perfect. And that's just like not me. So they're beyond. I feel like, so this is the characteristic one of the thoughts I have about journalists. Wait, but maybe you're a journalist.
Say that again.
Aren't you a journalist?
No, I'm a comedian. Um, there's a
Okay.
over assertiveness to them and over persistence to them. They lack boundaries, and there's an entitlement to them. Like what? Like they'll call you and ask for something, and even though you'll say I don't want to share it, then the next day like, hey, are you going to give that to me? And there just seems to be like this really, I don't know. And I don't know nearly as many journalists as you know, but just people in this field in general, I feel, maybe it's insecurity, but it comes across as like deep arrogance. Like for even at the CrossFit Games, when you're lined up in the media pit, there's people who will get out of your way if they're not getting the shot, and there's other people like who think that they're somehow entitled. And even when I was the director of media over there, people would like try to bully me. I'd be like, wow, you are, you're nuts.
I think it's tough because I don't know that like those emotions come from people trying to be a bully, but more like if I want to get the best shot, I have to be aggressive and I have to put myself first and stand my ground. And again, like it comes to personality traits. Like I would say, depending on the situation, I tend to be a little bit more passive. I'm not going to like push somebody out of the way to get what I want. I'm going to try to like almost like kill people with kindness and try to like build bridges, make relationships, and use that as my edge. But and maybe that's why I never got to where I wanted to in journalism, because I was not willing to go and knock on somebody's door after their 11-month baby was shot and killed for an interview. Like that's a boundary that I'm not willing to cross, and some people are.
Yeah, that's interesting. When I would speak to Brian, I'd be like, hey, have you spoken to this athlete yet? And he would be like, no, it's at the event. And I'm like, who gives a shit? Go talk to him. but he had that boundary, you know, like he wanted to give them space. Yeah,
it's hard. It's definitely a balancing act. Like I want to be respectful, but you also have a job to do. So kind of maneuvering that, I mean, just comes with time and also a little bit of personality.
Yeah. And speaking of arrogance, I would just tell myself, I would tell Brian, just tell them that they're lucky they get to talk to you. Just that should be your mantra. They're lucky they get to talk to me. When you come from something like television that is, there's a script, a process, a method, and you come over to something like Morning Chalk Up. Is Morning Chalk Up more free? Is it less? I think of it as, I think of all the people in the space as being more malleable, more fluid, more the ability to do more things. Were you, if that's true, were you okay with that, or did that make you feel uncomfortable?
I mean, I like my life to be very like routine and structured. That's like why I can accomplish as much as I can, because I'm very organized. I'm very almost like military like, but I've never been in the military. I did do ROTC in high school, but that's it.
How long did you do that?
Freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year in high school.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to come back to that. That's a trip that you did that.
Okay. But yeah, it's much more freeing to be with Morning Chalk Up because it's obviously structured, but when you think of like a news organization and like the big company that owns you, there's so many like rules and regulations and like training, and like you're really confined to certain boundaries, where now I have so much more freedom and creativity freedom to kind of do what I want, obviously like with the help and guidance of others, but there's definitely more room for growth in that area.
Do you get feedback at the Morning Chalk Up?
Yeah.
And did you get feedback when you were at the news shows?
Yes, but not the type of feedback that you would think.
Meaning?
So it's interesting. I never really got feedback on my like performance, delivery, etc. It was really always feedback on my appearance and how I could look more relatable to viewers.
Oh,
wow.
You had and listen, if you want to, someone wants to go to war with me, I'll go to war with you in the YouTube comments of this. I'm ready to fuck someone up.
What a way
I
to
will
start it.
Let's
fuck
go.
you
Let's
up.
go.
Yeah. I hate it whenever I ask women about their outfits. People are like, you never ask men that. I'll be like, go fuck yourself. I'll ask men about their outfits all day long. Well, you had a lot of outfits.
Oh, I still have a lot of outfits. What do you do with all of that?
Do you have
a
to
lot
pay?
of it
Do you have to pay for
donated.
those? It's a small fortune. What your outfits?
So eventually I got a stipend, but my first, 3 to 4 years, it was all out of my own pocket.
I watched a bunch of reels. That if you go to Lauren Kalil YouTube station, there are these 9-minute reels that are just super dense with stories. It's actually really cool to see. And there's like a bunch of those, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna find the same outfit. I mean, even your hair changes a lot. Yeah, I couldn't find the same outfit.
Yeah, people notice when you wear the same outfit. It's so weird.
And you're not supposed to do that.
I mean, obviously they expect you to, but it's like, try not to wear the same thing for a month. But then like you talk to your co-anchor who's a guy and he's like, I have 5 ties and that's it.
Right. I only want to wear
different.
this shirt. I only want to wear this shirt. I'm so bummed when it's
a
not
great
clean.
shirt.
Thank you. So they wanted you to look relatable, meaning just the way you did your makeup and your hair and the way you stood, or
Oh no, like, okay, so a couple things. So in our contracts, there's a whole section on appearance. And it goes into like you cannot cut your hair, change your hair, like do anything to like your hair, tattoos, earrings without approval from basically like 5 different people from corporate. But then it goes on to say that you also cannot fluctuate within 10 pounds.
your weight.
Wow.
So yeah, your weight.
Wow.
I never had any conversations about that, luckily, but there was this constant debate about my freaking arms that I had to cover them up. They were too muscular. I had one guy that would literally call me every Saturday night after my newscast and tell me, I'm going to find your steroids dealer. I know that you're doping. Like, you must be a transgender. You have 2 dicks. Apparently not just one was enough. Like, I have
Holy
2.
shit.
Like, yeah, he would just constantly harass me. And I'm like, yup, okay, let me know when you find this person. Like,
Wow.
yeah. So then management was like, we're getting emails like about your arms that like it's not professional. And mind you, it's not like my boobs were ever hanging out. Like,
No, that'd been
nothing.
fine. That'd been
Right.
fine.
Literally. And so like I did an experiment where I wore something that was like not crazy, but like a little more risky, low cleavage, but my arms were covered. Crickets. Nobody complained. But when my arms are out, it's like the world is ending.
Holy
So
shit.
weird.
Hey,
Make it
Yeah.
can you
feel
imagine
secure.
watching someone on TV and the colossal effort it would take to go over to your computer or pick up your phone,
Yeah.
find
People
an
will.
email address and peck it out? I'm trying to think I see the craziest shit every single day and I don't complain. I mean, batshit crazy stuff.
So absurd.
Yeah. Wild. So then they were like, you're not married, so you're unrelatable in that sense. You don't have kids, so you're unrelatable in that sense.
This is
And then-
crazy.
And then you're fit, and the average news viewer is not fit. So literally, like, nothing about me was like the mold that they wanted a local TV person to be.
It's interesting how people recalibrate too, because I remember coming to CrossFit and thinking not anything bad about the women, but I just remember thinking the women were muscular. And now I never think that thought.
Right. It's just normal.
I've never seen, I never like, oh, she's really muscular, or they're just bodies. It's just a pile of bodies now. It's a trip.
Yeah. Which it's fine. I mean, everything worked out the way it should. It stings at first when somebody is like, you're unrelatable because your arms are muscular, but okay. Like there could be worse things, I suppose.
What do you the steroids comment made me think of Andrew Hiller. Do you know Andrew Hiller? Have you met him?
I've never personally met him, but I mean, if somebody doesn't know who he is, you must be living under a rock, I suppose.
Or maybe I think some of us just live kind of in a little bit of an echo chamber. Like there's a small group of us. He said something on one of his videos the other day. He said there's 300,000 people who sign up for the Open, and you know, in relation, he was talking about how many subscribers he had, and I was like, yeah, it's we're really small fish talking to just a really
Oh yeah.
a really aggressive is not the right word. Involved, initiated. We're a small group of people, but the people we talk to are really initiated and invested. And so it feels like we're talking to like hundreds of thousands. Right?
We're our own little community.
Have you ever been asked to do the stuff at the games where you interview the athletes afterwards?
No.
Would you do that?
Yeah.
You'd be
fun.
good at it. Do you feel for those people? Those people get so much criticism in the comments. Do you ever watch the chat? Those people get destroyed.
I try to
they're in a
limit
tough-
the amount of comments I look at.
Yeah. They're in a tough position. They have like 1 minute.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah,
athletes are totally disheveled. And the comments are just like, that's an ass question. And it's like, no one's ever like, brilliant work. I mean, they get destroyed. No one has any like love for them.
It's too bad, but I mean, it's like any internet trolls. Like they're complaining about the person doing their job, but they've never done that job before, so they have no idea.
Right. My comments are usually pretty nice. There's just a few like people make fun of like my nose, but other than that, it's
Do you still get criticism for that? For your nose?
but I asked for it.
That's probably true.
To be all fair. I asked for it. What do you think of it? What Andrew's doing? His sort of like talk to the camera. I mean, he's kind of found his own niche in the community. He talks to the camera.
Yeah, for sure.
He's critiquing the judging, the athletes' performances. But basically, he's anointed himself kind of like the judge. Right? I mean, that's what he's doing. He's just going around judging everyone, not based on their looks or the size of their arms, but based on their criteria for keeping the rules in place that allow the competitions to function with integrity.
Well, I really think what he did is interesting because before him, nobody else was doing that. Nobody was, calling people out or like bringing to light how many issues there are with, standards judging. So I think that him like taking this moment to, he's gained so many people. And like, you go to any CrossFit box right now, you ask, hey, have you seen Andrew Hiller's video? Most people that are like in touch and watch these shows have seen Andrew Hiller and know who he is. And I think like what he's doing brings a lot of topics to light that I think maybe have been like untalked about for too long.
He recently made a video of Brook Wells doing the rope climb. And he says, I think the video says, Brook Wells has too much power. That's the title of the video. And so there's an insinuation there that she was allowed to clamp her legs on the rope because of who she is. But in the video, he doesn't say that. In the video, he makes it clear that that the judge didn't see it or something. He says the opposite. I don't know. Sometimes I can't tell. I can't tell if it's maybe we're just in the early phases of it, but sometimes I just think it's not the conclusions that he draws, and a lot of people do this. That the collusion, like he thinks there's like some sort of collusion at the top, like Brook Wells gets away with stuff because the referees are intimidated by her, or the event organizers want her to go on to the games. Like he goes beyond just being like, "Hey, that girl cheated."
I think it's an interesting conversation because
you couldn't do that at the morning chalk up.
No, because I'm not. Andrew Hiller is Andrew Hiller. Right. I'm Lauren Kalil representing Morning Chalk Up.
Yeah, you could point out she clamped her legs on the rope, but you couldn't be like, and they let her get away with it unless they told you. But he can do that.
Right. And I think like that's what people should notice the difference of. And this is not like a criticism to him, because I think that there's room for him in the space to do what he's doing. And again, he's brought up so many topics that I think can hopefully create change or make the sport continue to move in the right direction. But he's not held to the same standards as a media company when it comes to fact checking and making sure that like you do your due diligence and like get all sides of the story before you just put videos out. And again, like I I love what he's doing. I watch his videos, but that's why he can have such immediacy getting some of these topics out, because he doesn't need to go through like an editorial staff, and sometimes like even a legal team, for instance.
Yeah, a legal team. That's when
What's that, grunt?
that's when you know you've made it. When your stuff has to go through a legal team. He said something to me that I really liked. I'm reading this book. It's that Matt DeLugos recommended. It's called Thinking
How Champions Think.
Oh, How Champions Think.
Oh, I think I've heard of that one before.
By Bob
did you finish it
Rotella.
yet?
No, I'm just listening to
Okay.
it. I'm a couple hours through.
It's good.
And Andrew said something the other day. He said we were doing the semifinals coverage, and it was a lot of work. It was just a lot of time. It was just a lot of time.
You guys had so many people on your live shows. I don't know how you organize that, to be completely honest.
We don't. It's a complete fucking shit show. It's not.
Controlled chaos.
But it's cool to see like how many people you guys can get to come on your live show. I admire that. That's cool.
We just spam them in their text. Just hope someone
uncontrollably.
Yeah.
Click the link. Click the link.
Yeah. And it's crazy because you don't want two to come on at the same. It's a shit show. But and the thing is, as long as you're transparent, the audience feels like they're part of the shit show. So they're okay with it. You know, you're not trying to put on some sort of veneer. But he said at the end, I've told this story probably 4 times now, and he said at the end, so everyone else gets off and it's just Andrew and I on and we're not live. And I go, dang, dude. He goes, what? I'm like, you did all these shows with me. You didn't miss a single show. And he goes, yeah, I hate the thought of you working harder than me.
Oh, wow.
and when I see how much content you put out, in that book, How Champions Think, that's one of the things. And I definitely hate the thought of you working harder than me. And I hate it. Like, I can't get Shane or Tia, or I can't, there's all this, there's like 10 people you've gotten in the last month that I can't get. And I'm just, I don't get angry, but I start,
you're competitive. We all are. But that's why it's interesting when viewers think that we all don't like watch each other, and there's like this like, oh, I don't like him and they don't like me. And it's like, we're all just competitive. We want to be the best. Like, Sevan, you want to be the best. I want to be the best. Hiller wants to be the best. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And are you competitive?
Oh yeah. About everything.
Yeah.
About everything. Sometimes to a fault.
What do you mean to a fault? Any examples?
I mean, not off the top of my head, because I live a pretty lone wolf life. It's me and I don't know where the dogs are. But I set high goals for myself and I want to achieve them. And if I see somebody else is like doing something that might be better than me, I'm like, okay, well, what can I do now that's going to be better than them? And I like won't sleep. I'll sacrifice sleep to like get to there.
The whole thing is something has happened, I think, to the media space around CrossFit. Have you seen this guy, Jason Media? Have you seen his stuff?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think I tried to have him on for one of our recap shows, but like timing didn't work out. But yeah, he's doing stuff too.
Yeah. Well, and he's such a trip, and he's got his whole unique, like, I don't even know how to explain his style. It's like hypnotizing. Yeah. Hello. I feel like
well,
it's
and
David,
his voice
I feel like
is
it's
so
David
soothing.
Attenborough. Yeah. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? But he's killing it.
We can't compete with the accent.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah. This guy.
Yeah.
It pained me the other day. I followed him on both my accounts.
Reluctantly.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to give you any followers, but I have to. You're too good.
Killing it.
There's him, and I don't know how new he is. He's got a lot of stuff. There's him, and there's Andrew Hiller. Oh, and I feel like just everyone's like sort of stepped up their game. Everyone's kind of like changing their titles and their software and oh, okay, we'll get to that. Thank you. Please please keep feeding me questions. I only have 3 pages worth. How long have you been working at the Morning Chalk Up?
A little over a year. So I started working with them when I was still at the local TV station. And I kind of seeked them out and basically like asked for a job. I was like, hey, I do not want to re-sign my television contract. I'm going to need a job. How can I start working for you guys? And that's when I started like contract working for them. It was like a year ago this past March. And then I just started taking on more roles as I eventually like didn't sign my contract again at the news station.
So that's all you do. You're just morning chalk. You're just CrossFit.
No. So I also work at my local affiliate. I manage like their media, their social media, and then I coach.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So both are, well, the gym is like kind of a full-time job, kind of. And then this would be more of a part-time job, morning chalk up.
But you're doing videos every day and you have to research the videos.
Got to make it happen. I got goals, Sevan.
Yeah.
Hustler.
When you were when you were working on the TV shows, did you have goals? Like, were you like, okay, I want to get onto a nationally syndicated show, or I want to have a radio show?
My dream, like from college, even maybe like before college, was always to be a morning anchor for the Today Show. I grew up watching them. I loved everything they were about. You know, we would go to New York City, we would go watch the show live. It was always a huge goal for me. But obviously that changed pretty quickly once you get into television and you realize, okay, like this might not be what the big dream is. So
when they talk to you about your arms, is it face to face or is it on the phone?
Face to face and email.
Is it, can you tell if the person's uncomfortable?
Oh yeah, my boss said to me, like, so there was this anchor position that was going to move me Monday through Friday. He basically told me like, hey, like we want to move you to Syracuse. We're going to put you in the weekend anchor position, but when a Monday through Friday anchor position opens up, we're going to transition you into this role. Well, the opening happened. I approached him. Hey, like, how do I apply for this? How can we make this happen? He strings me along, eventually basically tells me that I don't get the job in person as he's sitting behind his desk. And he goes, oh, like, I'm just so nervous you're going to beat me up right now. I'm just like, what? Like,
beta.
Who says that? Like, my boss is telling me he's scared I'm going to beat him up. Like, I'm like
can't
the
even
least
believe this is
aggressive
real.
person
I
ever.
can't even believe this is real.
You're too healthy. Can't have you out there slowing our Pfizer sales down. We need you to slow down.
Oh man.
And then he told you can't be on the air because of your arms. You can't do the anchor position Monday through Friday.
So he told me that specific position I didn't get because I didn't have the right personality. So my arms are too big and my personality sucks.
You eventually did have an anchor position though, right?
Oh yeah. So this was just like, I was the weekend anchor. So I would anchor on the weekend. I would sometimes like fill in during the week, but normally during the week, I would go out as just like a reporter. They call it an MMJ, a multimedia journalist. So I go out with the camera, I find the story, I interview the people, I shoot all of the B-roll, the video, I come back, I edit it, I write it, put it on the web, put it in the package, send it to air.
I think this arm thing is probably really common with women in the CrossFit space.
Yeah. I mean, you don't really see that many women CrossFitters that are in TV journalism. I know a couple, but
I just think that not so much anymore, but when my wife first started CrossFit, anytime she left the house, someone would stop her. It felt like you're just at line at Whole Foods and someone's like, how'd you get those arms? I'll be like standing right next to her. Like, what the fuck? I don't know how she get those arms. Came out of her mom's vagina with her head.
With the big muscular arms.
I'm just picturing you standing there while some guy who's asked, what's your workout routine? You go to answer and he's like, no, sir. Sorry, I was talking to your wife.
Yeah. It was like that.
That's awesome.
Will you show, will you pull up my, I don't know what Instagram account is on, but I took a picture of my wife's back at Disneyland the other day.
A little back shot.
And she even said, holy shit, I never seen my back before. That's really what my back looks like. I was like, yeah. Yeah. People just, it's amazing. I just remember, this isn't my line. This is Greg Glassman's line, but you do CrossFit. And the whole point is that your DNA is just going to present itself the way it's supposed to present itself when it's put under stress and hard work. That's it. Your body's just going to turn into what it's supposed to turn into. And the world still hasn't caught on to that. That, hey, this is just an expression. Or, you know, we've all heard that line where a girl says, I don't want to work out. I don't want to get too bulky. And it's like, and the response is, hey, don't worry. You don't have the work ethic to get bulky. Like, don't worry.
The discipline.
Like,
It's true. It takes hard work to get like buff arms that, you know, look muscular. Nutrition, your workouts. I mean, it's not just going to happen overnight.
You posted yesterday a picture of you in a sauna. You have a sauna?
I do.
Yeah, was that hard to pull the trigger on that?
Not really. I honestly don't think they're as expensive as they maybe should be.
Oh, as they should be. I like that. You're a real capitalist. I like that. What? How much? How much was it?
About $2,000. But they came and installed it, and it's a 2-person one.
Wow.
Yeah,
hey,
and it hooks up to Bluetooth and everything. It's great.
So, right before I saw that post, I watched a video of you where you're doing a news story about being locked in a car, and you're in there for 5 minutes and to see how hot it gets
see
in
the temperatures.
And I wanted to reach. Oh, there, yeah, you look.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah, and everywhere
her legs look great too.
Yeah, she got a crazy body. She's just it's just a girl's CrossFit body. Got a bunch of them at the gym, but yeah, you go somewhere like that and you're just like, and people are staring, but it's just like she doesn't do, like, she just does Pilates, CrossFit, and teaches yoga and breathing. It's not even like that much. It's like a half an hour every day. That's it.
So many people are not exposed to like any type of fitness though, that they see something like that and it's like not the norm.
So I see you in that car and they put you in there for 5 minutes and I wanted you so bad to be like, fuck you. This is bullshit. CrossFitters sit in a sauna at 150 degrees for 30 minutes. Shut up. Kid's fine in here.
I think this was before my CrossFit days.
She's like, when you got in the car, it was 92 degrees. And within 5 minutes, it was 106 degrees. And your heartbeat raised
so
10 beats. I'm like, come on, shut it.
We were trying to prove a point, Sevan. We want to protect the kids and the pets. It actually, like, probably more like gets me angry when I see dogs in a car. Oh, in the summer, I'm that one that calls the cops on people.
I had the cops come. I had the cops come and take my. I came back to my car once, and my dog was taken out of my car, and there was a note: "Your dog's at the shelter."
Oh.
Well, why would you do that? Why did you do that?
It wasn't a hot day. And and the car was parked in the shade and the windows were down. Well, a little bit. And it's a small dog. And we were only gone for 9 hours. It wasn't like we were gone like a whole.
It wasn't an overnighter.
Yeah.
I'm calling the whole SWAT team on you for that.
Only 9 hours.
So this sauna thing, you use it every day?
I try to, just about every day. I would say between like 5 and 6 times a week.
Yeah, I really want to get one. And that sits in your house?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I get home from work, I'll turn it on, I'll go make dinner, take care of the dogs, let them out. And by the time that routine is done, the sauna's warm, pop in for 35 minutes. We're good.
And do you take a cold shower?
Oh yeah. But I'm kind of a baby with like the cold shower. I try to do like 30 seconds, but it's really like 5 seconds. And then I'm like turning it hot. I'm like, okay, we're done here.
Yeah. You let it go on your head?
On my back.
On your back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I try to do the cold on the head and then it takes a little while to filter through this mat of clay I have on top before it gets to me. Where were you born?
Utica, New York.
And do you have any Southern accent in you?
I don't know. Do I sound Southern?
When I was listening to your news pieces, sometimes I would hear you say, like this. I would hear you say certain words, and I would think I would hear a little bit of a twang, and I was like, "Oh, maybe she's from the South."
No, I think that was like when I lived in the Midwest. I think that you're around people with the different accents, and eventually it kind of blends into your own. I would say like now I have the most like all American, normal, no accent. than probably when I lived in Wisconsin. Oh my God, when I moved back, I would say like the weirdest things. And my family would just be like, where did that come from? And
Like
I'm
the
I
stuff
don't
like
know.
you see in the movie Fargo, like that kind of weird, like stuff Canadians say.
So yeah. Lots of
Wow.
like the Canadian, like,
Oh,
sprinkled in there.
yeah, I haven't heard any of that from you.
The lovely city of Utica.
Utica.
There's an Office episode about Utica. It's 10 out of 10 probably wouldn't recommend living there.
It looks lovely.
Yeah. That picture is doing it a little more justice than real life.
Photoshopped.
Mhm.
Who's the worst interview you've done in the CrossFit space?
The worst interview?
Yeah. Who are you like? They're never coming on again. I'm never fucking interviewing that person again.
This is a safe space. You
No.
can speak freely here.
Honestly, like, I don't think there's anybody that I'm like, man, like, I'll never have them on again. I would say that like I'm getting a little bit more strict on video quality standards
Oh,
and not like filming on a potato.
right.
Driving in a car.
But you know, like I get things happen, but I feel like at some point we need to just like professionalize a little bit. So I try now, like to all my guests, hey, make sure you're on a stable internet, you know, make sure you're connected to Wi-Fi, use Google Chrome, like all of those things that I'm sure you guys tell your guests as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind video quality being jacked up, but it's when the audio. So there were did make those. I teased you in your DMs. There was those three videos with Brian, Patrick, and Tommy. They were short, but I think it was the audio was so choppy.
Yeah.
Do you think, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't publish those?
So the thing with those, if it was just like a normal bottom line segment, there have been ones that I've pulled and I'm just like, the quality is not there. But for those ones, to me, it was more of a thing of consistency. Like we've done this for all the other semifinals. We kind of set the standard and have to do it
right
for these ones. So it was picking your battles. Do we not publish it and then look inconsistent, or do we publish it? People are going to shit on the audio.
Yeah.
And just hope that not all of the comments are terrible.
Do you get mad at those guys, the regulars? Let's say if it's someone like Brian, like and his audio is jacked up, would you talk to him and be like, dude, you can't do that to me?
Give him a little feedback.
Yeah, a little
Yes, they've been giving feedback. I tell them, I think I told them once, you guys are like herding kittens. Like it's an impossible task. I love the kittens so much, but getting everybody like together at the same time, audio, internet. I mean, you know, everybody's got busy lives. So
how do you do it? So let's say you wanted to have Tommy, Patrick, and Brian on. Would you send out a text and there'd be a text thread with the four of you?
Yeah, I actually sent them all a text yesterday. We're trying to get something organized right now.
And don't do that. And and then you would say, okay, guys, these are the times: Wednesday at 9, Thursday at 9, or Friday at 9.
Yeah, like this is my availability. This is the latest that we can do it, but I'd prefer to do it earlier.
And then you just keep your finger crossed that all of them are going to somehow, like Patrick might say I'm available for R3, Brian says I'm available for 2, Tommy says 1, and then you're like, okay, then that's the one.
Yeah, and like sometimes we'll only have 2 out of the 3 of them on, and like I'm okay with that too.
Yeah, I do that too.
Yeah.
Invite 5
Sometimes
people
you
on
just
to
have to.
make it, you're like, win.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, right. Okay. And do you guys ever go live?
We did for the like open pre-shows that we did. We'll go live during the CrossFit Games for a couple of things. We were going to for the semifinals, but since we were covering all 3, it just came down to like manpower and logistics, which we just didn't have. Like in my mind, I was like, we're doing this. I'm going to come up with the game plan. We're going to make it happen. And then 2 days before, I like looked at like the schedules when we finally got them. And I was like, I'm literally going to be sitting on this live feed potentially by myself for 8 hours.
Oh yeah, that's
Sevan knows that game.
Like
that game.
Right, like nobody wants to sit and stare at me talking about random shit for 8 hours.
Let's not get carried away. There'd be an audience.
That's when I start talking about the
I don't think
vaccine.
the
People
audience
love
I
that.
want.
You should bring up religion, abortion, politics, and the vaccine anytime shit gets slow.
It's a good riff. Yeah, just go there.
No, once the teleprompter went down when I was in local TV, and like the last thing we were talking about was the Pope, and mind you, I had called him the poop by mistake, so like already not on a great trajectory for this. The teleprompter goes down, and my producer in my ear was like, ad lib about the Pope. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me about the Pope? Do you know me? Like,
But you went to Sacred Heart. But you went to Sacred Heart.
And I went to Catholic school my whole life growing up, but I don't know enough about the Pope to ad lib for 5 minutes or whatever it was. So that was like not a great day for me.
Wow.
You did you say you were born in upstate New York?
Yes.
And that's home for you. What is upstate New York? Like, how far is that from New York City? From those of us who are stuck in California,
like 5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm closer to Canada.
Okay. And you have a bunch of siblings.
Two
boys.
A bunch. I have a younger brother and an older sister.
And how did you get into dancing?
My mom actually owns a dance studio in our hometown.
Oh.
Yep. So me and my sister grew up competitive dancing, from the age of 3. We both competed in college. She still teaches at my mom's dance studio. Oh yeah.
That's a cool picture. That's a really cool picture.
It is.
Thanks. Yeah, that was at Nationals in Daytona.
And so from when you were 3 all the way to college, you danced regularly.
Yep. And then when I lived in Wisconsin, I did teach at a local dance studio. But then like once I got into CrossFit, I kind of just didn't have the time to do that anymore. And like if my mom asks for help, I'll like go back home and I'll like help out with a class or whatever, but I don't really do it often anymore.
What tell me about what competitive dance looks like, and when you see people like Emma Lawson, like that was her background too, does it like warm your heart? Are you like, yeah, girl?
Oh yeah. I love when there's other competitive dancers in the space. It's funny because I thought like because of my dance background that like gymnastics and body awareness and all of that would like transition. Not at all. Picked up weightlifting super fast, but gymnastics, I still just like flail around.
Interesting.
Try not to.
What does it look like? So you start dancing at 3, and what does that look like? Tap, ballet, hip hop, all of them.
Yep, all of them. You name it, I've done it. Besides like Irish dancing and stuff like that.
But you would, and you could. If someone like, hey, we're going to do this every day for an hour a day for 12 days, you'd be an Irish dancer in no time.
Pick it up.
You can do it. And then what? Tell me, I've never even. What is competitive dancing? I didn't even know there was competitive dancing.
So yeah, like universities and colleges will have a dance team, and you'll basically have a dance routine. You'll go and compete, whether it's like at nationals, like we did, but we also would do sidelines. So at football and basketball games, we would have like 30-second routines that would happen during a timeout, or then during halftime, we would all go onto the court or the field, do a big dance routine, stuff like that.
And did you like that?
Oh yeah, it was so much fun. I loved it.
That's
why I chose the university I went to.
There's a video.
Dance team was good.
Oh, serious?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So they were known for it. There's a video. I don't know if I have it in my notes. I don't know if I erased it. It's at 2. I did erase it.
No.
There was a video of you on a football field.
No, I think I have it.
You do?
Let's see. This?
Oh no! But this is crazy.
Oh my God.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Wait, hold on. This is different.
This is funny.
So this I do have a question about. Sorry. So we'll shift here from dancing. Did you get hurt doing this?
No.
No.
It's a tuck and roll.
I was like, oh, she got hurt and she's hiding it.
No, I swear to God. I've been injured on the
situation-
job, but not during this time.
Paint this situation for us. Who are these guys and what are you doing here?
Okay, so this was one of the I forget what you call it. It's kind of like baseball, how they have like the AAA, AA like baseball teams. This is that version, but for football when I lived in Green Bay. So I did like morning live segments with them before like their season kicked off. I was interviewing some of the players. They would show me different drills. We would get them on camera. And then they showed me one of these drills. So we did it on live television.
This is live?
Yeah.
Yeah, wait till you see this, guys. Okay, go for action.
Oh, there you go.
Whoa!
Scoop it. Yeah, baby.
That purple thing you tackled, that could have gone horribly wrong.
Yeah.
Yes. I was willing to risk it all for the television.
Did you do a rehearsal of that?
Oh, yeah. We practiced this a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, the way you hit that purple thing so hard and you bounce off and like you barely recover. Let's see one more time. Susan.
Oh, there you go.
Whoa!
Scoop it. Yeah,
Hey, are they surprised your game? Your coworkers there, like when they're like, "Hey, let's do this," and you're like, "Okay, I'll do this." Are they surprised your game because a lot of the other women and men wouldn't have done it?
Like the running joke was that I should have had my own like TV franchise, like along the lines like Lauren does anything, or let Lauren do your job, or watch Lauren do this crazy shit, because I literally don't really have like limits when it comes to like I'm really game to try anything, and there were so many cool things that TV allowed me to do with opportunities in that sense. So
there was a show like that. There was a show that you did.
Yeah, there was like a series of Let Lauren Do Your Job for, I think it was like a month long. It was during like a ratings period.
Yeah.
So they were trying to like boost viewership.
The Lauren Kalil Do Your Job series. Yeah. Did you like that? Do you come up with that idea, or they're like, "Hey, you're gonna do this," and you're like, "All right, I'll do it."
No, yeah, for that I came up with it because I was like, oh, this is an opportunity for me to do some fun things and not have to like go interview people after they like have a house fire, or have their family shot. So this was a lot nicer.
Of all the videos I saw, none of them really made me feel uncomfortable except one.
Oh God, which one?
Let's go to that one.
Wait, is there a link here?
Yeah, hold on. It's not the street hockey. It's not the football. Oh shit! Maybe there is. Maybe there isn't. Maybe I was too uncomfortable. Maybe I was too uncomfortable to pull it up.
Let's even write it in the notes.
Yeah, there's one where a guy's choking you.
Oh yeah, and then I think that's the one that I disarmed him.
Yeah, it was so intimate.
Oh, the dude was shooting his shot.
Dude, first of all, he's a really handsome man.
Who knows?
And she looks really good. She looks extremely beautiful in it. And he's like, it starts off where she's choking him.
I think I found it.
Him?
Yeah, you're choking him. And then she's like, let's reverse the role. And then you go against the wall and he's choking you. I'm like, I did like pause it. I was on the assault bike. I was like, I gotta pause this. This is making me feel I'm a pretty open-minded guy.
Let's reverse the role. I don't remember choking the.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Wow,
oh no, it's not this one. It's not this one.
Not me.
But it's in that. It's in this.
Wow, you went way back. This was my first TV job.
There's another one where she's with that guy, and it's crazy. And you could tell he doesn't want to do it. Like he's happy to have you choke him, but when you're like, okay, let's reverse the role. You choke me. He's like. Do you remember that guy?
No.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that was like over 10 years ago.
I wanted to, so you don't know if I asked you, did he ask you for your phone number or anything afterwards?
Actually, there was only one situation ever that somebody asked me for my phone number, that I had like worked with. Only
one? Oh yeah. Here's the guy. Yeah. Go back to the beginning. You got to see where she's, this is the guy. A little bit more, go a little. Oh, this probably doesn't have the choking either. Yeah.
Yeah, normally like the demonstration would be at the end. No, didn't.
I could be projecting, but the whole time, all this guy is thinking is, oh my God, I wonder if she'll go out with me afterward. And he's freaking out.
Oh my God.
So you're telling me the guy who none of those guys, like the guy who some of these guys just all look the same to me. They blurred into one. Like the guy who's teaching the kids archery, or the other guy who's like in charge of like the storm cleanup. You're telling me none of those guys ever asked you out?
No. Yeah. I said only one. And it was like a golf guy.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I could totally see these guys being like, "Hey, you want to go golfing?" So
I do golf. So
can I hear the golf story?
Oh, there wasn't much of a story. I did a segment on like this virtual like golf thing, and like one of his managers kept giving me a hard time, like, "Oh, he really didn't want to wake up." So
yes,
oh my
there it is.
God.
Hold on, we'll come back to this. I want you guys to know this. I hope this makes everyone there feel uncomfortable because either that or I'm just fucked up. So we'll come back to that.
I paused it on that one.
Yeah, thank you. It's so fucked
That's
up.
amazing. Like, what even is that?
I want to be like, you guys should have dinner first or something before you
the
start
best day of
joking with
that
each
dude's
other.
life. That's what that is.
Okay, so it's a virtual golf thing, and they were giving you a hard time.
Yeah, no, and his manager was giving me a hard time. Like, he didn't want to wake up because we would expect people to be there at 4 a.m. because that's our morning show would start at 4:30. And like he didn't want to like wake up super early, but he knew you were coming and you were cute. So he was like, okay, I'll do it. He's single. We should set you guys up. And I'm just like, no, like, please leave me alone. And then like at the end of it, he was like, yeah, like, I don't know, you should come back and like I can give you some golf lessons. And I basically was like, yeah, like my brother works at a golf course and I grew up with a golf family, so I already know how to play.
Oh. So no to the date.
Sorry.
When's the last time you went on a date?
Oh, now we're getting into something. The last time I went on a date, I don't know. It's been a minute.
Do you like dating?
Oh, I hate dating.
I would hate it too.
It's terrible.
I'd much rather just go to a party and just meet some random person and get drunk, and like that's the start of the relationship.
I don't know exactly like that, but yeah, like I definitely would rather meet somebody authentically, for sure.
I mean, it could be kind of authentic. That could have been authentic. I mean, okay, we'll circle back to that. Let's see the joking guy. And then we'll get back to that. I want to make sure that I don't forget, because I'm really curious when you picked up CrossFit. But
okay.
So
I can't with that screenshot.
Go to the beginning where she's choking him. I want you to see how
he's so intense.
Oh, he's so fucking uncomfortable. No one wants to put their hands on you like that. No healthy man wants to touch you like that. Everything in his whole body is saying, don't touch her like that.
Learning to fight off your attacker from a chokehold.
Okay, watch when she flips the script on him. Watch what she says to him. Okay, hit play on this. Watch this. This is crazy.
Here to relieve a little bit of pressure. Tuck my chin to bring the thumbs down. And then I still need to work on escaping.
Pause this. He's like, dear Lord, only have pure thoughts. Dear Lord, only have pure thoughts. Dear Lord, only have pure thoughts. Okay, go on.
A baseball, I'm going to turn and open my shoulders as I swing my arm over to release the hands, and then I want to come right back.
Oh, he's going to hell for that. He's going to hell for that.
So say that obviously you're a lot stronger than me, and if we do a little flip flop.
Oh God.
Right now, or just making sure that I actually
Dude's heart rate's at 180.
Yeah.
We'll help you out a lot.
Yeah. Look at him.
So there, I know we talked about it a little
He should have said, great job. He can't. He's frozen. Right there. He should have been like, oh my God, so good, Lauren. Instead, he's like, holy fuck. He's freaking out. He's freaking out.
God.
He's just trying to soak it in while he can.
That is so funny.
I do not have a hidden choking fetish. I just no, I don't have any fetish. I'm normal as shit.
Yeah, normal.
So is that rehearsed? Does he know you're gonna ask him to do that? Because he seemed completely out of his, like, he didn't want to do that.
No, he knew. He knew what we were gonna do.
Yeah. Would you have dated him?
No. I don't even know his name.
Even better.
You have dated him.
How happy are you that you don't have to do all that makeup stuff anymore?
Oh, you have no idea. I try to plan like as many YouTube videos on one day so that I only need to do my makeup one day. This is a special occasion. I even put lip gloss on today. You're welcome.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank you.
thank you.
You look
Yeah.
great.
You're welcome.
I have an aversion towards makeup. I'm like really prejudiced towards makeup.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And I don't mind the black stuff that outlines the eye. That's kind of cool. And
Eyeliner?
like I think, is that what it is? And then I think lip gloss is cool.
Maybe.
But that the red lipstick and just the when they put the plastic face on, I can't.
All right.
Something. So I like the no makeup girls. And you must be stoked. It looks like a shitload of work.
You learn to get pretty quick at it, but yeah, I hate putting makeup on. I hate doing my hair. I mean, I do it, but
What if you showed up to the new show and you didn't do makeup?
oh my God, the place would burn down.
It would.
Yeah. Would not be good. Would not be good. I've definitely pushed boundaries though to try to not.
Does Lauren have a CF man crush? That's totally inappropriate. How dare you?
Come on, Jake. Come on, Jake.
Come on.
Jake, I have a lot. Too many to name on one episode.
Don't do you have a favorite CrossFitter?
Favorite? No.
No. Are you equally like the boys and the girls?
Oh yeah. I have
Yeah.
top athletes that I like on both sides. I mean,
Yeah, you-
I honestly haven't met an athlete that like I've interviewed that I genuinely like haven't liked yet. They're all very pleasant. Where like there's people I've interviewed in TV where I'm like, man, that person was a dick.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that hasn't happened yet, which is cool.
So you're living in upstate New York. You go to college. You do dance. You know you want to get into TV. You're the student body president. Holy shit. You make the Dan Patrick show. That must have been exciting because that's a huge show. And when does your path cross with CrossFit?
The summer of 2016, I'm on a family vacation. Me and my sister are sitting on the beach, boozing, trying to live our best life.
What were you drinking? What was your drink?
It was probably something stupid like Mike's Hard Lemonade, something I would never touch now.
I'm okay with Mike's
and-
Hard Lemonade.
And all of a sudden, we see our dad walk onto the beach without a shirt. And it's like not normal for me to see my dad without a shirt. And I'm just like looking at my sister, are you kidding me? Why does he have a six pack? Why does he look better than we look in our 20s when he's like 50?
TRT.
And what was he doing?
TRT.
CrossFit.
Oh.
He was doing CrossFit.
If anyone would like to get on TRT, please go to cahormones.com and use the code word Sevan for your free blood work and free doctor's consultation. Okay, sorry. What about your dad? So your dad walks on the beach and you're like, damn, he looks good, and we're young girls, and what the fuck?
And we look fluffy. So what do we do? Well,
Yeah.
she does nothing. She's a horizontal person. She loves to watch TV and chill.
My favorite kind of girls, horizontal ones. Go on.
Oh my God. I knew that was
my
coming.
God. Yeah, I was like, damn it. I teed myself up for that. That's fine. It was my sister, not me. So then I got back to Wisconsin after that trip and I signed up for a CrossFit gym.
How do you think your dad? How did your dad find it?
He's always been super active, like whether it's golf, he did like the P90X, he has like all of that stuff in his basement. He's done Tough Mudders, Spartan races. He's always just been very active. He unfortunately doesn't do CrossFit anymore because he's got like knees and hip issues. So there's like, he basically can't squat or do any of that without surgery. But yeah, so he's the reason why I stepped into a CrossFit gym and have been doing it ever since.
What was the first gym you stepped into?
It was called CrossFit One Shot. I did my on-ramp there, and then when my on-ramp was done, I actually ended up changing gyms just because it was a little bit more convenient, and it was CrossFit Green Bay.
In your shows, do you ever give opinions? I feel like when I think of you in your shows, you are the one who's just pushing the show forward. You're pushing the show forward. You're pushing the show forward. But do you ever give your opinions on anything that's being said? Like, hey, I think Colton Mertens is not going to do well. I think that it was inappropriate that this judge did this. When you on ramp, you should definitely not have someone for the first time do 50 air squats. Like, do you ever give in your shows your opinion?
I try to refrain from my opinion. I don't think the purpose of the show that I run is to have my opinion. It's for me to find guests that have the opinions. And I work more as like the facilitator to, like you said, drive the conversation forward. I think honestly, like giving my opinion about certain things is like hard for me in this space, not because of what anybody else has like done or said or indifferent. Like I've been encouraged to give my opinion, but like just working in TV local news for so long where like you are not supposed to give your opinion. Obviously we see that happening now, which like is a totally different conversation, but like I've been so trained to like be neutral. Like it's not about your opinion, it's about being a truth seeker and finding the truth. So like breaking from that mold is definitely like a struggle for me.
If you could stay completely, if you could stay in that mode, you could take someone down. I mean, you could always get to the truth. If you could keep your opinion out and just keep drilling down, what does that word mean? What does the word opinion mean? And you just keep drilling down and don't let Lauren get involved. I mean, I think you're on the path. That is the path to become the greatest reporter that ever lived. I mean, that's the whole thing, right? The second you bring yourself into it or the other person into it, the conversation has ended. We can no longer go
like,
deeper.
I don't want to tell people how to feel. I want to give you the information that I've discovered, and then you decide how you feel about it.
Are there things that you sometimes have a strong opinion on and it's hard not to say?
I would say less times than more, just because I really try to see both sides of the coin. And if the information isn't there, I'll seek it out myself. Like, okay, like we're all thinking this right now, but what is the other side? Is there another side? Normally there is some kind of other side, whether it's made public or not. But I mean, sure, I'm a human. It's human nature to have strong feelings about things, but I really work hard to try to see like what is the other side of however I feel.
When you did that show, Will There Be Another Matt Fraser, and you had Jason Khalipa and Ben Bergeron on, were you pretty damn excited about that show?
Yeah, that was fun. That was my first time meeting either of them.
Yeah, it's a powerhouse show. It's an insane title. They're both so well spoken. Jason brings crazy energy.
Yeah.
He's a
super cool.
beast. Yeah. Whose idea was that show?
That one, I think that might have been Justin's.
And Justin LaFranco.
Correct.
And even the title.
Yeah, him and I like work together on some of the titles, so I think we might have bounced back a couple of ideas, but
you have no idea. You do too many shows. You do too many shows. You don't know. It's just all just a giant smoosh.
I'm like, I don't even remember.
Just a giant. Okay, and then when you set up that, do you have a text thread with all three of them on also? So it's you and
I try to. Sometimes it'll be me as like the middleman. Like I'll text one, get their availability. I'll text the other, get theirs, and then like communicate with both of them. But like if I can, then I try to get everybody on the same text thread.
And then a show like that. What, are you tempted to do a show like that live?
Yes and no. Like the thing is those shows are so short that I don't know that like you would maximize as much on them from them being live as you would when it's more of like an extended like 30+ minute show.
What do you mean maximize?
Well, I mean, the thing that makes like a live show so great, in my opinion, is like having like the instant feedback from the people. I mean, you look over in the comments right now, everybody's in the comment section. We can pull them up in real time.
Right. Lauren Kalil's Fran time is killer.
It's the biggest kept secret. I won't tell anybody what my Fran time is, but but like when you only have like a show that's between like 8 to 12 minutes, that's where like all of the beef of the conversation is happening. So then to be able to like interact with the viewers, like bring them in for like their comments and stuff,
Yeah.
it's just like, I don't know that like the flow would just be different. I feel like it would be a little forced, where like when you have more time where it's like 30 to an hour long, you can like play around and have more like room to do that kind of stuff. Like the
You never
side.
have to pee during the middle of your shows, do you?
No, because they're so short.
Yeah. What's the longest show you've done?
I mean, we had our open preview shows that were an hour.
Yeah. It's crazy. Sometimes I have to pee and it's
Yeah,
like,
yours was almost 3 hours yesterday.
yeah, I'm
I
sorry.
was like, holy crap. I definitely
sorry.
would have had to pee.
at not, well, that one I didn't have to pee. I don't know what's going on with my bladder. It's like working again. But oh, you know what it was? I don't eat on Sundays.
Huh.
And so on
Like, you
Mondays,
fast?
I fast. I stop eating Saturday night and I don't eat again until Monday morning. And I've been doing that for 2 years. And so when I did that interview, I hadn't eaten. And so probably like all my shit's like, and my shit functions so good after a fast. Like I'm just like everything, bladder, brain, everything's
That's
functioning
great.
great. Yeah. Do you fast?
I don't. I like to eat.
So you go into this CrossFit gym and you're just addicted?
Oh yeah, immediately. Immediately I was like, okay, I joined one of the CrossFit gyms like after the on-ramp and everything in November, and I signed up for a competition in February, literally with like
shit.
no skills or anything.
Oh,
and I was
shit.
like,
Nice.
I'm doing it. And I was the last, I did the scaled, obviously. I will never forget. I was the last person on the floor just trying to get a dang pull up. And it was like no rep after no rep after no rep. And everybody's cheering for me. And I'm just like, I just want everybody to go away and leave me alone with my judge.
I love the
And
community.
no, and I do too, but like my competitiveness just completely took over me, and I was like, I do not love being last right now.
No,
And
yeah, I
now
was joking.
pull-ups
when I
are
said I love
very
the community.
strong for me.
The vultures come around and start cheering.
Yeah, I'm like,
Mm.
And then you immediately start pitching CrossFit stories to these news stations that you work for, right?
Yeah, they didn't love that.
They didn't?
Oh no, like the ones that, I mean, some of them they liked, and they're like, oh yeah, Lauren's like the fitness person, it's great. But especially like during COVID, I forget what like came out from like the CDC or the health department, but it was basically when they said like, oh, like if you stay active, like this will help you not like fight COVID, but this will
Please don't
basically
say that
just
word
help
on my
your,
show. Please don't say that
I'm
word
sorry.
on my show.
This will help your immunity from like getting it really bad.
Getting
So I was
what?
like, okay,
Getting what?
the virus. There you go. And I had pitched this story like, hey, this whole time, like, I appreciate we keep telling people to like wear masks, like wipe down things like 6 feet, whatever, but we haven't really encouraged people to like just be healthy. So I was pitching this idea.
That's some
and
profound shit.
I've never like felt so uncomfortable in a newsroom where I'm just sitting there and everybody is like not yelling at me, but just like attack. And I'm like, guys, I'm literally not telling you that I don't like believe in this. I'm not saying anything. All I'm saying is this could be a good news story that we haven't told yet. And everybody was like, no.
Isn't it? It's well, first of all, thank you for bringing that up. Thanks for going to your news people and doing that. I mean, that's like the best story I've heard ever. Like I like you were a reporter for, can you tell us what station it was?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a reporter for a news station. You go to your boss and you're like, hey, I have this idea. Let's do a thing on how to be healthy and how it would boost your immune system and help you. And there's no better time to fuck off. There's no.
I love Chase and Bill.
They're great. They're great. There's no better time to be healthy and to work on yourself and work on your movement, work on your diet. And I think we should do a piece on that. What? You don't believe the virus is real? I mean, it was like that, like literally, like all of a sudden, like.
Not exactly like that, but more they were trying to twist my words to say that like I wasn't encouraging people to wear masks, which
Right.
like never was said. I was like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
Right.
like, yeah, we can keep masking, social distancing, whatever, but I also think we should like be prioritizing health.
Leave the room.
Hey, on a side note, this book that I'm reading, it's so funny when people say stuff that they don't even know that they're saying. I think this book is old. This How to Think Like Champions by Bob Rotella.
Yeah.
But he talks about my big, huge problem with the masks is this. You're telling everyone around you that something's really, really, really wrong by wearing a mask. That's what you're doing. And most people I know will be like, that's not true. But man, when you read this book and you read about how the subconscious and the conscious mind work, it's like this guy's basically saying that. Someone walks in the room wearing a mask and it fucking speaks directly to everyone's subconscious. I mean, that's not what the book's about, but like you start to see like we have a profound impact on everyone around us. You light up a cigarette, you're telling everyone around you that smoking is okay. You're telling their subconscious that. Everything that we do has a profound, we're all role models. And I just appreciate, you don't hear that story. And they make fun of both sides did it. They make fun of Marjorie Taylor Greene for saying that CrossFit will cure you of, protect you from COVID. And they made fun of the fucking guy. Who was the guy who was the news anchor at CNN who was in cahoots with his brother? That guy what was his name?
No, I'm just like, what is with you and the word cahoots?
Oh, I just like it.
How much do you love that word?
I love it. Cahoots. Well, I like it even better because he made that shirt with the Hooters shirt. Now, when I say the word, I see that picture. I just think it means boobs. But that guy, the right's attacking the guy on the left for working out. The right's they're attacking each other. They both have these role models who work out, the right and the left. And instead of embracing them, they're shit on for it. And it's like, dude, those were like, why? Why are you shitting on someone for making themselves better?
Hmm.
Man.
Yeah.
But you did do a bunch of CrossFit stories. How many did you do? You did a bunch, more than 1, 2, 3, 5.
Yeah, I would say like within a 4-year time frame, I probably did like 5.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it was super fun. Anytime like there was something relevant, I tried to pitch it and say like, yeah, I already have it set up. the people know that I'm coming. I have my interviews. We're good.
The news is really like when you look at your reels, it really is just like a fucking shitstorm of bad news.
It's so depressing. And I can't like be mad about like the news industry for it because like, unfortunately, there is so many bad stories to tell. And those obviously like need to take priority over like the nice feel good story. If it bleeds, it leads. That's
look
how
at Andrew Hiller.
Look at
Andrew Hiller.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. That's, what people want to see. That's what is important to their life and their safety and their kids and all of these other things. But I mean, I just didn't want to do it anymore. I was like, my life is depressing. Like, I go home, I can't get rid of it. I go to work, I can't get rid of it.
Let me show your favorite athlete, the darling of CrossFit, Brook Wells, cheating on a rope climb, and fucking people flock. Hey, someone said that she was cheating. I don't think but I don't think that's cheating. What? Can you pull up the definition of cheating, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
I think like I don't think like if your legs squeeze together on a rope at the top because you're fucking tired, that's cheating. I think that's something else. Like I can't ding her for that. Act dishonestly, unfairly in order to get. Yeah, we don't know if she was being dishonest. Only she would know that.
At the end of the day, it is the decision of the judge.
Lauren Kalil from Morning Chalk Up has spoken.
I mean, we can debate it until our faces turn blue, but I mean, I know that like when I'm doing wall balls, if my feet are just a little bit wider, I don't get below parallel. I get too parallel, that if they're just slightly in, then I hit parallel. If I don't have a judge telling me, I don't know. It's not because I'm trying to cheat. It's because
Right.
I seriously cannot feel the difference.
So you agree with me? She wasn't cheating.
Oh yeah, I don't believe that she was actively cheating.
Hour and 24 minutes and 29 seconds. Lauren Kalil gave her opinion on Brook Wells in regards to her.
Clip it.
Yeah.
Oh God, this is the only part that you'll see on social media.
That's it. No context either. Just straight
No,
opinion.
none.
And at some point,
Clickbait.
at some point, where you, when you were doing this news media stuff, you're like, man, maybe there's some media in the CrossFit space. Didn't you think maybe I should go HQ and Charlie Doobie and that route? But instead you went the Morning Chalk Up route. I mean, I guess those are the two. It's either Morning Chalk Up or games. Those are the two places where media is done, basically.
Yeah.
Where you can work and get paid. No one on my show gets paid shit.
Well, do you know what local TV people make? They make dog shit. My
Right.
first job, $24,000
Wow.
a year.
Wow.
How do you live off that?
Wow.
I could apply for food stamps if I wanted to.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did you live
no,
off of
like-
that? Did you live at home?
No, I was on my own in Illinois. I mean, you literally like go and buy the Happy Meal at McDonald's. That's what you do.
Are you good with
very unhealthy.
Are you good with money?
Much better now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
Me too. I'm much better now. I used to be horrible. Okay. So how do you do? So you're telling me you're in 2020. You're working. You're just working your ass off on news shows. And when does it? You're like, maybe I can do this CrossFit stuff full time.
It's funny you say that because honestly, like that thought never really even crossed my mind. In my mind, I was like, I'm willing to literally take any job right now to get out of television. Like I was applying for jobs that I wasn't even qualified for, like the most random like jobs, just to get out of television. And I knew that I had like my like part-time job at Morning Chalk Up. But I didn't like think.
And you were writing at that point. You were writing.
Yep. At this point, I was writing for them.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, is there potential that we could like make this full time? Like, what can we do? Because as of the end of May, I'm unemployed. And I was technically like unemployed besides like my part-time job with Morning Chalk Up for a full month before.
Because you quit your news job before getting another job.
Yeah, like the timing just didn't sync up. And the problem with like a news job, you have to sign a contract. Like they don't like give you this grace period, like we'll keep you for an extra month until you find a job. They're like, nope, you either like are done May 30th or you sign another 3-year contract that is binding. And the only way you're getting out of this and we're not suing you is if you die. And I'm not kidding.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
I'm not kidding. I know people who
Intense.
have been sued for breaking their contract and they are in such great debt. It's sad.
Wow.
So, yeah, you do not re-sign that
Wow.
contract unless you are very confident.
Wow.
The only like kind of out, like you can negotiate outs into your contract, but those outs are really just like, okay, if I get like a top 10 market and move to like this job or, you know, little things like that. But most companies won't say like, I want a complete out of the business. Most of them, you won't have that in there.
So you're scared. That was a scary month.
Yeah, I was like, I've been doing this for almost a decade. I don't know like that I have any other skills besides like being a reporter and like interviewing people. What the heck am I going to do? Like, I know that I'm like personal. I can like talk to a wall if it would answer. So like, how can I try to use like my communication skills to find a job? And yeah, luckily it all worked out, but it was a really scary time for a while. It was even a little bit of like an identity crisis. Like, oh my God, this is what I've done. This is what I like went to
Yeah.
college for. Like,
Yeah.
did I really waste all of this time? Luckily I didn't, because like it certainly helped me with what I do now.
Was there a point that you ever felt after you were doing so you graduate from college, and did you call yourself a journalist already? Like I'll give you an example. I would meet people who I had made like 5 movies, and I would meet someone and they would be like, I'm a director. And they'd be like, what do you do? And I'm like, I make movies. And I still didn't feel comfortable like calling myself a director. They had never made a movie. I had made 5 movies, but I was still not comfortable. Like I didn't think I was a director. Was there a point when you're like, oh, I'm a journalist? Like that you turned into it, or did you fake it till you make it? Or did you never feel like a journalist?
I think I always felt like a journalist.
You did?
Like,
okay.
I even look at like growing up and stuff, and I've always been somebody who is super inquisitive, and I've always like been somebody who asks like a million questions. Like even when I'm at like my local affiliate, I will ask like 7 questions to people before like they even get one question in about me. I'm just genuinely like interested in other
Right.
people, and I'm interested in like other people's stories and like what they bring to the table and like why they're doing certain things.
So soon as you embodied that role.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you do it for 10 years, and that's where a little bit of the identity crisis comes. I'm very familiar with that also, when that shit fucking gets pulled out from underneath you. And then at the time you're doing like maybe an article a week, an article a month for Morning Chalk Up, Justin would just call you, or someone would call you over there and be like, hey, can you do an article on so-and-so's shoes? And you would write it, or?
Yeah, I mean, I would pitch different ideas to like keep writing. And then there was like a transition period where like right before the games and then during the games, I was actually doing the newsletter for Morning Chalk Up. So there was a point where I was like full time for them. Then after the games, it just like wasn't really a great fit for me in this like editorial role. And that's when I kind of transitioned back into part-time. I took kind of the full-time job at my local affiliate, and then like through trial and error, eventually like took over the YouTube page.
Did you feel like it was a step up to go to Morning Chalk Up, or did you feel like it was a step up in your career to go to Morning Chalk Up? Like, okay, like in your career path, like, okay, maybe career path's not the right word, in your life. Like, okay, I'm really doing what I love now.
Yeah. Yeah. Like as much as like sometimes this stresses me out and I'm like, holy crap, like I haven't slept, like I haven't seen my family in weeks, when like I normally see them every week, sometimes twice a week. But like it doesn't feel like work to me. I don't feel like the type of burnout that I felt from the news station, where, oh my God, I really don't want to go into work today and be sent to, excuse me, but like East Bumfuck to walk the streets to interview random people who don't want to talk to me. That doesn't sound like fun.
Right.
So yeah, like now it's so much fun. It's kind of crazy because like I never thought, like even when I started CrossFit, that it would ever turn into like a career for me. I never really like thought that was an option.
And have you ever applied with the games team? Has no one over there's ever reached out to you? You would be so good at that, at taking that abuse from the people in the chat. You'd be great on the floor.
Thick skin.
Do you like do you know Jamie Hagaya?
Yeah, Hagia.
Yeah, Hagia.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she's great, right?
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, she kills that shit.
Yeah, she's been on a couple episodes of The Bottom Line with us.
Oh, she has.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you know her, or you've talked to her.
Yep. Her and I message back and forth on different things.
I could just see you doing that. I think that's like one of the areas that if there was more sideline reporting, it would be fun, for the games feed. So like, and I don't mean to compare my fucking piecemeal fucking monster mash show to them, but like when the semifinals are going, we'll have people who are just fans, like Will Plummer, or even Brian's done it a bunch of times. They'll just be at the venue and they'll just come in on their cell phone, and I'll be like, hey, where are you? They're like, I'm in the stands. Like if the games did that, they didn't just wait to do the sideline reporter before and after. They could have Jamie or you down there during the event.
Mm.
and be like, notice how close the cameras are to Patrick Vellner.
With that handstand push-up. Oh my God.
Did you see what I posted last night? I stole it from his YouTube video.
That was wild.
That's crazy.
Like that
Hey,
photog got close.
Yeah, I kind of like, I hated him when it happened, and now I kind of love him. I want to give that guy like a raise. I mean, the balls on that dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you play? It's on Sevan Rinsta. It's nuts.
Like, I only wonder what Patrick was thinking in the moment. And I know that, like, you talked to him, and I forget what he said, but like, man, that was wild. I cannot believe that the photog did that, but I mean, it made for great video.
The camera is huge. Yeah,
Like,
those
right
are
in
the
his
things.
face.
Those are the things too. That's what life's about, right? Like if Pat could go back, like you don't take that moment. I mean, look at this. This is nuts. He steps forward. He steps forward.
Look at the footwork of the
Amazing.
cameraman too
Yeah.
as he goes by.
He knows what he's doing.
Look at that. He's like,
Okay,
what
let's
is
look at his
happening?
footwork. I didn't even look at his foot. Is it nice? Is it like
Yeah. Look at him.
Lomachenko?
Look at him. Look at him. He look at
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
that. He's trying to sneak by. Like if he moves his feet like that, then Pat won't realize he's there. He's like, I'll just sneak on by.
Lauren, I'm wondering if someone in the truck was like, "Hey, dude, you're on the wrong side," like in his ear.
No.
I think
No?
he's just out there vibing.
I don't think
I
so.
just think he
Yeah.
got too comfortable. I think he took a few risks and he's like, fuck it. I'm gonna do a super close pan across his face.
I mean, does he knows he knows he's camera 7, right? Yeah, camera guy. Camera guy was on Sacred Heart dance
Hey,
team.
you know
too.
what I think he thought? Maybe that if he did something bold like that, we'd have him on the show. It'd be like, here we have the
Yes,
camera guy,
yes,
and we
yes.
have Pat Vellner. You guys-
Everyone's
Hey, that
trying to
would
get
make
on
a
the
great
Sevan
episode. I'd
podcast.
watch that.
So he knows in his ear, they're like, hey, we're live, and in camera 6, we're on you, so don't do anything stupid. I mean, he knows they're on his camera, right?
Yeah, and his boss is probably like, damn, that's a good shot.
Look how intimate that was. That was good.
Oh my goodness.
We could see every pore in his face.
Oh man.
Are you going to the games this year?
Hell yeah.
And what for? What will you do there?
Oh, Sevan, I hope you're ready to keep up, man.
Oh,
You better
wow.
start preparing now.
Oh wow.
What are you doing there? You're making
Yeah.
me nervous. Why are you going there?
I got to go in 10 minutes to jump on a call about our game plan. So I hope that you're getting ready.
Yeah. We have a huge meeting also in 9 minutes.
We actually do though. We actually do though.
What do we not about that though? It's probably like
Not about the games, yeah.
try to get free coffee from Gabe or something.
Oh,
What are you doing there? Why can't you just stay at home and like just do your shit from there? Why do you have to like go there?
Sevan,
Yes, tell me.
if somebody is working in the space for the NFL,
Oh, this is gonna hurt
think
my
that-
feelings. This is gonna hurt my
I knew
feelings.
that right when she
This
said
is gonna
that.
hurt my
Yeah.
feelings.
Keep going.
you think that their ass would be home during the Super Bowl?
Oh damn. We were just chatting about this last night too.
You take the financial hit and you get your ass to Madison.
Oh man.
Are you not going?
Wow.
No, fuck no. But Susie yesterday's like, hey, we
Oh,
one of our
man.
sponsors bought us got you 2 tickets to go to the games, and it's the best Coliseum seats, and this and this and
Hey,
this.
you
Are
can
you
give
going?
them to me.
I'm like, hell no. Send Hiller.
Damn.
You're seriously not going to go? Why? What's your
No.
big like stink about it?
I'd have to. I can't go there if I'm not working.
And you're not going to work when you go?
No, if I went there, I would be. I don't think well, I mean, if I could figure out how to work there, but
Mike's
I'm just so comfortable working here.
In the RV section.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I would do that.
The RV section is fun.
I would do that. Oh, so you do have a meeting? What tell me about your meeting in 9 minutes.
No, you're not part of the meeting.
Oh.
This is my competitive edge on you, Sevan. Come on.
It's not fair. You have a big team. It's not fair.
You have a big team too. You got Sousa.
I do have Sousa.
Thank you. I'm just gonna go to the games and interview everybody right after you do, or I'm just gonna follow you around. Right after they finish,
No,
I'm gonna pull them over.
People in local TV used to do that, and it pissed me off. I would go up to them, hey, can I grab you for an interview? And then the other TV stations, and I'm just like, no, box them out, box them
It's
out.
gonna be me.
Hey, don't think for a second. Let me tell you something.
Maybe I'll get choked.
At least once a week, I go over. I stay on top of your shit, and I will be like, oh, if I see someone that you interviewed, I will for sure just right after interview them, contact them. Hey, will you come on my show?
There's no shame in that. Everybody does that.
100%.
Yeah.
And another thing is, if we're doing some sort of like show, if Taylor calls and is like, hey, let's talk about this, I'll be like, sure. And then I'll just go straight over to Morning Chalk Up and I'll watch your 3 shows on it. And then just write down notes. Be like, Lauren
That's
said
where you get the
this,
info.
Tommy said this. Yeah. And I just say it on my show. Over at Morning Chalk Up, I learned that. And just do it. Yeah.
Hey, you do give us credit. So
Yeah.
if you give
Yeah.
the source, then yeah, go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I do my whole show. All my game shows, I go over and steal from other people, plagiarize.
Oh my gosh.
Man, I can't believe you feel like a journalist.
What do you think I am?
I mean, I think you are a journalist too. I just wish I knew what it felt like. I just don't know what it feels like. I don't know.
You're a journalist. You prepare notes. You fact check.
A little bit. Do you get stressed every time you do a show? But a healthy stress?
I don't know. I definitely don't get like nervous. I get more excited. Like I'm excited to like hear what this person has to say and get to know them better. I would say that is kind of like the overwhelming emotion.
Like I try to do this show every morning at 7, and when my alarm goes off at 6, well, usually I get up like about 5:50 and I'm like, okay, go back to sleep, settle down. And then my alarm goes off at 6, but I'm so excited. I guess you're right. I maybe nervous isn't the right word. It feels a little nervous. A little part of me wants to run away and always not want to do the show. But I'm so excited to wake up. I'm never like, who are you interviewing today?
Nobody today, but I have stuff scheduled to come out all week. I just got to do that when I'm done with this.
Who are you interviewing tomorrow?
You'll have to wait and see. I got to keep you on the edge of your seat.
So good. You just don't know how much some of that stuff is going to bug him that way.
I just am constantly going to plant seeds in your head to make you stir and think.
I can't stand how hard everyone's working. Everyone's working hard too. The coffee pods and Wad's guy, this Jason Media guy, everyone's just working so hard. And that's the thing with the space. Everyone loves CrossFit so much, so people are starting to. I mean, it's there's only 3 things I do. I work on this podcast. I'm concerned, and I work on my health, and I work on my kids, and that's it.
Those are great.
Yeah, those are
all good cups to have full.
Those are only, but you only work on 2 things: your show and your health.
She's also
my show, my health, the media at my gym, I coach, my dogs.
Oh, good. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win for sure.
He tried to bait you with that one. How many hours a week do you coach?
Hey, do you know how
only 2.
This show is huge right now. I can't believe how popular you are, Lauren.
Is it?
Yeah, there's 430 people watching right now.
Was wondering, like, who wants to hear what I have to say?
A lot of people. Yeah,
this show is huge. You went to Africa?
Yeah, I was there for 6 months.
You went to Namibia.
Namibia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's right next to South Africa.
And you had a pretty intense romantic relationship there.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Like what?
I was like, oh.
There's a guy that got a disproportionate amount of Instagram time relative to other people. And I just thought
he was part of the group that I traveled with.
I just thought I'd take a stab in the dark. Took a page out of my boy Andrew Hiller's book. Just take a stab. Just take a stab in the dark. I'm looking to
All
see
right,
how many.
Sevan, you've got 2 minutes to ask any other burning questions.
That's what my wife told me. 900. Oh, I have to. Oh, it's because you said the C word. I have to request a review. This thing's already been flagged.
Uh-oh.
We're under the eye.
Thank you for your time. When you go into this meeting, don't you dare let anyone say anything bad about me. Defend my honor.
Do you think that we just sit around talking shit about you?
No, they have better things to do. But they're definitely gonna crack. There'll be a few jokes. Be a few jokes.
Oh,
jokes.
man.
No, this was honestly super fun. It was great,
Okay,
like
good.
getting to know you guys on a more intimate level.
Good. Yeah. I harassed you. I'll tell you. So I harassed her in the DMs a little bit. So did you ever think, okay, we only have 1 minute left, 40 seconds. When I first started saying your name on your podcast, did you always brace yourself like, oh, fuck, he's going to be an asshole to me?
I never really knew what to expect, to be
Right.
honest.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh God, I'm glad I didn't say anything bad about her.
I'm glad that you didn't. You were always very kind. You really were.
I think I'm going to try, Dick. This was okay. I'm going to be very honest with you right now
Okay.
and slightly arrogant.
All right, let me take a sip of water.
This show was a form of courtship / interview process that you're unaware of.
Alrighty.
Yeah. All right. On that note,
You're just gonna leave it at that?
Yeah. On that
Thank
note,
you
I'll
for
let
coming on.
Yeah.
Okay.